Good evening, it's Tucker Carlson. One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are.
He's back! This video is brought to you by Save the Storks, brought to you by Save the Storks. SaveTheStorks.org is where you go to become a monthly partner with, I would argue, one of the best pro-life organizations on planet Earth. I just spoke at their gala. I was the keynote speaker there. What a wonderful event with a bunch of wonderful people. And I'm the type of person that put my money where my mouth is at. So we are monthly partners with Save the Storks, and we also gave a donation the day that I spoke, because I believe that women should have opportunities to have the right decision or be informed of the right decision to give life. Save the Storks have stork buses, and those stork buses are where young women can get ultrasounds. And we all know the statistical data, but if you don't know, I'll tell you, over 90% of women who have an ultrasound change their mind about abortion. So be a contributor and a supporter of Save the Storks. Go to SaveTheStorks.org. Link is in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this, man. My boy Tucker Carlson is back. And I say my boy, he ain't really my boy. I don't even watch Tucker Carlson, and I'm not even really a big fan of Tucker Carlson. I respect him for what he does, but he not like my favorite. Like, I think he's arrogant and sarcastic too much and whatever case may be. So and nothing against him. He just ain't my cup of tea. But I give respect where respect is due. The man is probably the primary reason why people go and watch Fox. My mother-in-law only watched Fox because of Tucker Carlson. And everybody I know only watch Fox because of Tucker Carlson. So I got to give a brother respect where respect is due. Now, he came out in this video, and we're going to play it together if you haven't seen it already, because he finally broke his silence. Because they did all that stuff, and I don't know if he was preparing his set or whatever, because I don't know. He got a cold set and everything. And he came out and gave this speech. Now, let me just say this before I even play the video. Maybe I'm tripping. I respect people, and I value their opinions. I feel like when it comes from the heart, but maybe I'm not in tune with television people to where everything that they present and say is on a teleprompter. Like, he came out and made his statement, and I can see in his eyes that he's reading a teleprompter. Now, I would have liked to see him just be a normal Tucker, like he's doing a speech, or he's just off the cuff, like, hey, this is what's going on. But I also understand that if you want your information to be succinct, in order, and not miss a point, maybe you should script it out. That's just my only take on it. I just would really like him to see it like more personable, but this is what it is. Roll the clip.
Good evening, it's Tucker Carlson. One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are. They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing. In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. Trust me, as someone who's participated. And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing thing, the undeniably big topics, the ones that will define our future, get virtually no discussion at all. War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? It's been a long time. Debates like that are not permitted in American media. Both political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state. That's a depressing realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them. This moment is too inherently ridiculous to continue, and so it won't. The people in charge know this. That's why they're hysterical and aggressive. They're afraid. They've given up persuasion. They're resorting to force. But it won't work. When honest people say what's true, calmly and without embarrassment, they become powerful. At the same time, the liars who've been trying to silence them shrink, and they become weaker. That's the iron law of the universe. True things prevail. Where can you still find Americans saying true things? There aren't many places left, but there are some, and that's enough. As long as you can hear the words, there is hope. See you soon.
All right, I think that was short and sweet. I think it may be a longer version of this. Like I said, my only criticism is that he reading the teleprompter. I would like to see it come from the heart. I think he is alluding to the fact that his being expelled from Fox News had a lot to do with him telling the truth, right? That he was telling the truth, and he challenged the mainstream, and he challenged the people who run it all in this one world government ideology. And when he challenged it, he became big. He became powerful, and they didn't want that. That's what I interpreted from what Tucker Carlson was saying. They didn't want that. So as a byproduct of them not wanting this man to have so much power by telling the truth and potentially stepping on the toes of certain people, that they ousted him to regain leverage and power. Now, what I will say is that Tucker, I would like to hear him address the fact that he was texting that he hates Trump and acting in public like he liked Trump. But that's for another story. But what I would like to know is what is next for Tucker Carlson? Is Tucker Carlson going to go to Salem Radio? Is Tucker Carlson going to go to the Daily Wire? Is Tucker Carlson going to go to one of these big organizations and become a spokesperson for him? If I had to guess and roll the dice, I think it would probably be Daily Wire. They got Jordan Peterson. They got Candace Owens. Ben Shapiro is a huge name. They got all these big names. They were getting ready to mess up and offer Steven Crowder $58 million in 3 years. With that kind of leverage and power, and with Tucker potentially going behind a paywall, Daily Wire could probably pay him $100 million a year. And I guarantee they can raise enough money to front that. Because you got to understand, Fox News is a billion-dollar company. Daily Wire could be a multi-billion-dollar company if they keep acquiring these big-name people. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about paywalls real quick. Just imagine if 20 million people or 5 million people were behind a paywall system, which means that they pay $4.99 a month or $2.99 a month, and it was 5 million people. That's a lot of money. And if somebody like Tucker could bring 5 million people to a paywall system, he would be making a lot of money. And a company will be able to take him in that may not be as big as Fox News. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm anxious to see where the Tucker is going to go next. All right, y'all comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this entire thing, about him getting fired and all of that. See you on the next one. I'm out.